Hi, Facebook friends. Helen Archontou here, CEO of the YWCA of Northern New Jersey. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am so happy to have some time with you together on this. Well, if you're in New Jersey, or Northern New Jersey, I know New Jersey, you could be like one town to another, it'd be totally different. But if you're in Northern New Jersey, it's a beautiful day. I've chosen to sit outside to chat with you today. I hope you are going to get some beautiful day in your day. But the sun is not the only reason I'm having a beautiful day. It's because I'm getting to spend today starting chatting with Fallon. And so happy to have my guest today on. Welcome, Fallon.
Hello, how are you?
And so our viewers don't know this, but Fallon and I have had quite an adventure to get to you today to kick off. It's ironic that we're talking about STEAM and because technology has been challenging us a little bit today, but we are up for the adventure and excited to share about the really amazing work that Fallon is doing. So I want to start by telling you all about Fallon. Fallon's last name is Davis. Fallon is the founder and CEO of Urban STEAM.
Urban.
Of STEAM Urban. I have it written here as Urban STEAM, STEAM Urban. So STEAM Urban, which is an expressive arts, STEM discipline 501c3 nonprofit organization dedicated to changing the way education looks and feels for urban students of all ages. They design innovative educational experiences that address the realities of Black and Brown youth in under-resourced communities, providing accessible and quality programming for students of all ages. Before we begin, I want to share a little bit more about Fallon. Fallon is a non-binary visionary, a radical educator, a creative scientist, a philanthropist, and a true activist for changing the lives of Black and Brown individuals. As a pioneer in queer fashion, developing the first masculine of center fashion show. All right. We really are having a day today. I don't know why, but we are. But that's okay. Fallon, let's see. Let me get back to what. Okay. So Fallon developed the first masculine of center fashion show movement and queer fashion week in the world. They understand what it takes to have a vision and stick to it, despite any adversity life throws their way. Fallon's long-term vision has always involved changing society, changing policies, changing systemic disparities for Black and queer people of color folks face. They obtained their master's in education with a focus on curriculum and instruction and dual concentration in equity, equality, and justice and STEAM. Since obtaining this degree, Fallon implanted their knowledge in different arenas, launching a real-world academy STEM after-school program in low-performing high school, mentoring teenage counselors to grow a performing summer camp, helping build a college readiness STEAM-based program for high schoolers, implementing over 8 STEAM programs for a therapeutic rehabilitation program for youth and adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities, and implementing a pilot program across the globe. I mean, I can't tell you how excited I am. Honestly, just knowing all the pieces that Fallon has been involved with, and when we get chatting, I'll tell you even more why I'm excited, because I just, this is such important work, and an area that is definitely does not have enough support. So this is a great opportunity for us to be learning about the work that Fallon is doing, how we can all individually support it, and so excited for the YW to be working alongside of you. So after all that, I'm going to say it again. Welcome, Fallon.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful welcome. I'm so glad to be here with you.
I love learning about all that you're doing, and so I'm trying to think where to start because there's so much in there. But let's start with, I guess, how you started Steam Urban. Where did that come from?
Yeah, thank you so much. So, Steam Urban at this stage, I feel, is really my baby. Being a nonprofit founder, first generation, really trying to navigate this field, with blinders almost, has been an incredible journey. After I left working in social services, like at the height of the pandemic, it had been a few years that my team and I, because my mentors and my board are very close people to me who believe in my vision. We had been working on the language and kind of the momentum of what at our founding company, Steam for Urban Inc., what our founding company would be. And so it was like the perfect time. The pandemic hit, programs, everything, the world literally stopped. It gave me so much time to sit, to reflect, to heal, and just go through internal adjustments that I needed to be able to be a leader, to have this dynamic program. And so during that time, I was, it really came to me. And so I sat with my team, and we're inside, so it's nothing but time. Developed the rebrand, which allowed us to be Steam Urban, and focus on not just youth, but Steam Urban students of all ages, Steam Urban community, and Steam Urban schools. And so with that in mind, I wanted to make it very clear that I wanted to focus on Black and Brown students, which I felt for so long had been dismissed in education, been dismissed in quality programming. And, I come from a background, I grew up in the suburbs, predominantly, white area, and I was an honor student. And, I didn't really understand. I didn't really understand the way that the educational system was flawed. I had a different type of privilege that I wanted to really be able to use to change others' lives. And so once I had the opportunity and I realized, I'm like, this has to be my life's work. It's been, children and the community have always led me into, my greatest achievements. And so I wanted to be not only an education program, but I wanted to be a community organization that provided resources to the community, that was able to change and rewrite history. And so that's what birthed Steam Urban. And so we are growing every day into this beautiful, blossoming education program that's really fueled by the community. I have an incredible team of 20 plus educators and over 80 partners. In only 2 years, we've been able to produce over 100 programs, reach over 1,000 students. And I've worked with some of the best organizations like yourself, which is great, and being able to provide this niche programming that just, people didn't focus on. And so I'm glad we were able to fill in the gaps.
Well, I mean, and what a gap. I mean, and a historic gap. I mean, it's nothing new, but it definitely was something that was not being not acknowledged or addressed.
Right.
So it's wonderful to see you be able to jump into this space, and in doing that, also to be, as you said, using your word, blossoming so quickly.
Yeah.
And and for our viewers, as I always say, YWTV is about being part of spreading the word and being giving you an opportunity to be part of the good that's out there. You can help support this wonderful organization. As I always say, all of us as nonprofits survive because of the goodness of those around us who want to see what we're doing happen. So you should be following Steam Urban on social media so that you can get to the website, you can get to Fallon, you can learn about ways to either bring the programming into your community or into a community for someone, that you can make a donation, you can figure out how to support with volunteering. There's so many ways to be part of this incredibly important effort. And I'm not surprised that it's grown so quickly. I'm not surprised at all. And I only hope that, knowing what the need is, that the community can keep supporting and grow, building around you so that you can keep doing what you're doing. So I want to make sure to share with our viewers so that they understand.
Yeah.
And, we have we actually just getting ready to launch a program very specifically for Black and Brown students to support them with college readiness called Jumpstart, which we'll be talking about later in the week. But we're partnering with another amazing organization, to do that. And so I want to make sure that we really focus for our viewers about why it's so important to
Mm,
have programs that are very, that are earmarked specifically for Black and Brown students.
mm. Oh, thank you. That's such a good question. I used to get offended at one time by that question because I'm like, well, why not?
Yeah.
But I realized that, it had to become something that I became very comfortable with, and something that I made sure always was able to be talked about and spoke about. It's not a taboo. It's not a pity. It's not a you know it's not because there are other things that I can be focused on. It's literally because I see myself in the work.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have found is that throughout my life, I didn't have mentors. I didn't have folks who I could look up to and see myself in them, in the work that I'm doing. No one told me I could be a community leader. No one told me I could be a nonprofit founder. No one told me that I could work within my community in ways that would change them and empower them and provide opportunities for others to be able to showcase their talent. And so we're at the most pivotal time, I feel, in our culture and our history, that if we do not talk about the Black and Brown experience, if we don't talk about Black and Brown achievements, if we don't talk about Black and Brown as makers in this world, we're going to continue to be erased by history. We're
Mm-hmm.
going to continue to be overlooked, overrepresented. And the time is now to really take a stand against that. Black and brown people forever have made impact on this world. They have forever been change makers. They have forever been told that their futures wouldn't exist. So to be empowered in a world that didn't think that you were going to make it is what I want other people to be able to feel and to see, and to know that you can get out of these generational traumas. You can heal from these generational plights. You don't have to be what the world has deemed us as nothing. And it's extremely vital that students have mentors, have representation, so that they can understand that there's a bigger world outside of this American dream that might not fit their lifestyle. Every student might not go to college the same pathway. Every student might not have seen their family own a home. They might not have, seen a healthy marriage or healthy relationship within their house. But to see Black and brown people achieving those things and doing those things in the world, in media, in their own communities, it really empowers the next generation to know that they can make a new future for themselves and those around them. And that's really why I think the work is so important.
I really appreciate you sharing that detail, and I can understand, you know, feeling like that question, is not necessary. Unfortunately, I believe that there's so many privileged folks out there that do not still understand the need, and really appreciate you sharing it so eloquently to, be able to hopefully create that understanding for them. And, I just want to be clear for all of our viewers that look like me, it's really important for us to be supporting efforts like this, because we should want that representation. We should want that diversity for all of our children, for all of our communities. It only strengthens us, for sure. And with that, you mentioned representation, and why that matters, and I think you really started to put some framework around that in this conversation today. But I also love that you call yourself a radical educator, right? So many of the ways that you described yourself, I think, are thought provoking.
Yes.
For sure, which I'm sure is part of the intent. But
Yes.
we all need to start thinking a little bit differently,
Yes.
so that we can get into a different place, because where we are is not working. Obviously, we know we unfortunately have daily
Reminders.
daily reminders, tragic reminders, unfortunately, of the realities of our culture, for sure.
Yeah.
So talk to us about what is a radical educator.
Yes.
Why is that why is that a thing, and how does that link to representation?
Yes. Thank you so much. So, along with my journey in creating these safe spaces for Black and Brown and queer individuals, it's been very important for me to use bold terminology and really change the narrative of how we see education, how we see individuals who are mentors for students, and how we change what we think our communities should look and feel like. The education system, as we know it, has failed Black and Brown communities. I mean, to this day, from the history books to the lack of resources, to the lack of educators, to the lack of representation when it comes to connecting families and students together. And so I didn't want the taboo of just a teacher, just what the world has deemed someone to be a teacher, someone who has a degree, someone who is polished, someone who fits the definition of what America deemed to be someone who was respectable. So what I look for is I look for the change makers, the generational curse the breakers. I look for the social justice warriors. I look for those who have also been forgotten and lost on their paths. I look for those who haven't found their voice and haven't had an opportunity to really showcase themselves. And I use them as the examples of how their mastery matters, why their voice matters, and I give them a platform and opportunity to teach whatever they deem they want to teach and what they've said that they have mastered themselves in. And when I look at a radical educator, I look at them as somebody who deeply cares about their community. It could be a parent, it can be a elder, it can be someone from the community who has just a lived experience that they can share with others. And that's what I deem radical, because you've gone outside the system, you haven't allowed other people to dim your light, and you have used your platform, your voice, to really make a difference. And so with that, I like to employ radical educators of all Black and Brown walks of life, so students can see themselves as scientists, as doctors, as engineers, as urban farmers, as artists, as politicians, as authors. so that they can see themselves as that. And I think that that's what really sets us apart. And my team is one of the hardest working teams and groups of people I've ever met in my life. They have some of the hardest stories to hear. And I too mentor them through their experience. I love on them, and I don't allow them to take what they've been through and let that stop them either. And so, we've created a system outside of the system that really empowers students, not just saying it on paper, but these folks are out in the community, gardening, farming, petitioning, and doing the work,
Mhm.
So that's what I love.
Well, I mean, talk about kind of living your mission daily. Doing that internally with your team, and then externally with the community, clearly shows where the strength comes from. In
Yeah.
terms of the work that you're doing. So, in case our viewers don't know what the expressive arts are, I know
Mhm.
I'm a social worker by training. We have learned in the social work field that expressive arts really is an opportunity that where talking therapy sometimes fails. Expressive
Yes.
arts really gets to the core and really helps folks, access and unlock, so what's really needed for healing. And
Yeah.
that's how we end up using it in our world. But talk to me a little bit about the expressive arts in your world and what that means and how it's utilized in your programs.
Yes, so thank you for that. Um, so, I had, like I said, I really create my own definitions for things through my research and my redesign. One of my biggest strengths is organizational redesign and really coming up with resolutions for the community based on what my experience tells me and what history has shown me. And so STEAM for me isn't your typical definition of STEAM. It's not just STEM with the arts.
Mhm.
For me, in order to change education for Black and Brown communities, what I have found is that it has to be restorative, it has to be empowering, and it has to heal. Because primarily every Black and Brown person has a trauma, not one, but two, three, and the likes. So, how are we really addressing the needs of our community if we're not talking about what we're going through on a daily basis? Most students are have not act don't have access to healthy food. Most students don't have access to communities where they have resources that they can go into and find things that they need for free. There's lack of access to health care. There's lack of access to just thriving free community-based programs, lack of access to recreational programs, lack of access to things going on in your local neighborhood, your local parks. So when I was creating the verbiage, I went and studied the expressive arts because I knew, okay, the arts are great, but I needed people to feel empowered by being involved with the arts, that they didn't have to be masters at a certain skill set of the art, but that they would be able to see themselves in music, where they could write their own story and sing about it, where they could read and write their own book, their own language, their own narrative, where they could be involved with a drama teacher that uses a play that relates to our world and see themselves in it and how they can get out of the things that they've been through. So allowing the arts to be a tool for healing and advancement was my goal. And with the expressive arts, I found that even when I went to the conference, I was one of the only Black people there. That a lot of people don't even understand that the arts literally is a tool that can be used to heal your life, like meditation, like the yoga, like different therapies, herbal medicine. The arts and the expressive arts, when used on a consistent basis, when used in a certain format, can really change the wiring of your brain, can really change your mood. And so we're not allowing students to be empowered, to be healed and transformed while we're educating them, then we're really not doing anything for them. And so through our program, we have made it very clear that we wanted to holistically change people. And that's what STEAM really means to me.
Well, I mean, it shows how, I mean, and I couldn't agree more, but I mean, it really shows why your program is transformational, because it has all those core pieces to it that, do the tradition, and also that other piece that is, maybe, less traditionally embraced, but clearly probably that folks embrace. So I want to make sure that our viewers know how they can support you, how they can
Yes.
get involved in the work that you're doing. It's so incredibly exciting, and
Thank you.
as I said, needed. And we definitely at the YW plan on, staying close and figuring out, what else we can do together. And I keep thinking about our Jumpstart program that we're, you know, uh, uh, hosting, that's kicking off too, and there's definitely a connection that we need to be linking for you
I'm
with
excited.
Parent
Yeah.
Matters and their work as well. um, but so tell us, how can we
Yes.
help? What do you need, and how do people get involved?
Always looking for support financially, when it comes to donations, hiring us for programs. We design any style of program. So we work within schools, we work within community based programs, we work within community organizations, and we create events and all different things. So we have a program and something for everyone. On our website, we do have a donation button, at www.steamurban.org, where folks can donate to. And then we're always looking for volunteers, for other folks to just help spread the word. On social media, we share and we document our work, on Instagram and Facebook, and at Steam Urban. And so sharing our work and getting the word out is really what's powerful for us. Our type of organization isn't on the top list of funders. We are a radical organization. And, when it comes to, being, polished and looking well, that's not our goal. Our goal is to be very, and real about what's going on in the community, and to really be of service to our the needs of our community. So we have public programs going on throughout the year. Every month we have about 4 to 5 programs. We'd love for folks to be involved, come out and do a workshop. We're always looking to work with other educators, other community organizations who have things that they want to show the community. And so just reach out. We're open. I am a human. I can be text, I can be talked to, and I do love to connect.
Well, that's wonderful. As we were talking, I just you gained a new Instagram follower, which was
Excellent.
me. I just followed you, and
Excellent.
I'm looking forward to cheering you on, both personally and professionally, and seeing how to support and get involved and share what you're doing. Fallon, thank you so much for taking time to share, your vision, and this unique space that you're creating that we need to make not unique and need to make it commonplace. This work is so important, and that our organizations have collided in the best way possible so that we can work together to amplify both of our missions, and as they do support each other. And for our viewers, I want to make sure that you know that the happy collision of Steam Urban and the YWCA of Northern New Jersey is kicking off, or just kicked off, I should say,
Yep.
last week, and runs all the way through June 21st.
With our SAS girls.
With these sessions that are, focused with our SAS girls, and it's what a tremendous opportunity. Um, and so we have the link here if anyone wants to learn more about Steam Urban. We also have the link here if you want to learn more about our SAS Girls program. And we very much hope that you follow those links, Steam Urban, and, get yourself acquainted about how you can either, get someone connected to this wonderful program, or how you can help support it, as I said, personally or through an organization or business that you're connected to. For our viewers, there's more YWTV this week. We do hope that you join us on Thursday, when we will be talking about the program that I mentioned, which is Jumpstart, and it's a wonderful collaboration with Rona Vega and Dr. Ketsia Sadler, who we've both had both of them on the show. They're both good friends of the YW. Both of their individual initiatives were something that we're so supportive of, and so we're all in it together now, launching a really exciting program to help Black and Brown uh, teens getting ready to consider college have support with that experience. Everything from, working on essays to scholarships, but really dedicated time with wonderful mentors and experts for a few months to be able to get you ready for your college application and your college experience. So we're so excited to launch that, and you can learn more about that if you join us at 11 o'clock on Thursday. There's always something happening at the YW. There's something for everyone, every age and stage in your life. We have links here so you can check out our website, follow us on social media so that you can connect. Fallon.
Yes.
Despite all of our technological challenges, we did it.
We did it.
We did it.
And thank you so much for valuing our work and valuing me and for having me. I'm looking forward to this partnership continuing to grow. The work you all are doing at YWCA is admirable as well. So please keep it up, and looking forward to everything that's to come.
Well, thank you. Same. And, we, this is not the end. This is the beginning for sure.
Absolutely.
Cheering you on every step of the way, linking arms, and, more to come. And for our viewers, we just hope you have a great day. And remember, be part of the process here. Share something you learned today with someone in your life, integrate it into a conversation. You can easily share this broadcast with someone in your life through Messenger, through a text. And, definitely make sure that someone in your life knows about this wonderful program, so that, and make sure they pass it along to someone too. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Great day.
Bye.